The second concert I ever went to was White Zombie and Pantera. And this was in the Great Southern Trendkill tour. It must have been 96 or 97. So I was about 16 or 17. No, I was about 16. I wasn't 17 yet. And I had the time, me and my friends, Jonathan, Benny, and even my brother a little bit, we would listen to Pantera and White Zombie in particular, because White Zombie was a little bit more mainstream. And they had a few songs that they played on the radio and stuff, like Astro Creep 2000 and More Human Than Human. Pantera was just like hardcore, and we were familiar with them somewhat. But on my way to the concert, I was supposed to like meet up with Nathan Guidoni actually too, and uh, we go to the concert. We go to the concert. I'm on my way to the concert, like to the bus stop, and it's in the early afternoon. And I'm walking to the bus stop, and a car drives by me as I'm walking down Henderson Pass towards Thousand Oaks. And the car like flicks me off. A couple of young guys in there in the car flick me off or yell some stuff. And I'm on my way to the Pantera concert. I'm feeling all tough, and I flick them off back. Hey, they flicked me off. I flicked them off, right? And then a guy gets out of the car, and I remember him having like some sort of object or something, but he gets out of the car, then he goes directly at me, and I don't throw any punches or anything. Next thing I know, he just like fucking hits me in the head with something, and I'm on the ground, and they get in the car and drive off, and my head is busted open and pouring out blood. So I walk to the Stop and Go, later Diamond Shamrock at Thousand Oaks in Henderson Pass, and I go in there and I sit on the little chairs they have in there, and they call the police, and the police come, and I tell them what happened. The cop doesn't believe me. He's like, "Oh, this doesn't sound right. Why would a car just come out and do that to you?" I was like, "That's what happened." And he didn't even believe me and was like giving me shit like cops used to always do in South Texas and San Antonio in the 90s. And then he tells me that I need to go to the hospital, and I'm either going to go in an ambulance or have somebody come and take me there. And my mom actually lives across town, and she didn't have custody of us growing up. And so I hadn't seen her maybe in a week or two. And I couldn't call my father because he didn't give a shit about us. But I called my mom and I asked if she could take me to the hospital, because apparently I needed stitches and my head was pouring blood. So my mom comes, I'm covered in blood, and she takes me to the hospital. They give me like 12 stitches above my left eyebrow, one of the eyebrow, both of my head. There's stitches all on my forehead from here to here from different altercations. But this was the first time I had my face stitched up. And we go to the hospital, they stitch me up. They give me a couple pain pills, and then my mom takes me to Target or Walmart or somewhere and buys me like all new clothes. And then she takes me to the Freeman Coliseum where the concert was at. If you want to know what day this happened, it was the day that White Zombie and Pantera played at the Freeman Coliseum. And so she takes me to the concert, and I have all these bandages on my head and stuff. And I end up running into my friends there, Nathan Guidoni and everybody, and they're like, "Oh, what happened? Did that happen in the mosh pit?" Everybody asked me that all night. "Whoa, did that happen in the mosh pit?" Because I had like bandages on one side of my face. But I still was like, looked cool, I guess. The best thing about that concert was the amount of young women. For the first time, everybody was like, I was up close to the stage, but like a lot of women were like, they wanted, I was near like at least half a dozen women. Like I don't go into detail. All right. Hey man, I was 17-year-old Mr. G. What do you expect? Okay. Women were ripping my fucking clothes off at that time.